Did you notice this ancient Jedi in the Kenobi show? Entombed in a watery crypt beneath the moon Nur, his pale corpse suspended in amber. Tera Sinube had become just another trophy, one more Jedi extinguished by the Empire. When Obi-Wan Kenobi stumbled into that hidden chamber of the Fortress Inquisitorius, he didn't just find death. He found a memory, a legacy, a master whose name had long since faded from public record, but who had once shaped the very heart of the Jedi Order. Was he just a relic of the High Republic, a senile archivist who shuffled through the temple corridors? Or was he something more, a Jedi investigator whose mind could outmatch Coruscant's best detectives, a High Council member who trained legends like Sifo-Dyas and walked beside Yoda, or the wise mentor who taught Ahsoka Tano one of the most important lessons of her life? And how did such a revered Jedi Master, a guardian of patience and protector of younglings, end up as a preserved corpse in a Sith fortress? Today, we uncover the forgotten legacy of Tera Sinube, the Jedi Master who didn't fight with ferocity, but with insight, a marshal of the Republic, a detective of the underworld, a teacher of the future, and a tragic symbol of the Order's fall. Tera Sinube was born sometime before 428 BBY on the Outer Rim world of Coruscant, a planet far from the Republic's core, but not far from the reach of the Jedi Order. Like many Force-sensitive children across the galaxy, he was brought to the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, where he began his life under the strict discipline and philosophy of the Jedi Code. But unlike many of his peers, Sinube's early rise through the Order coincided with one of the most tumultuous periods in galactic history, the High Republic era. By 231 BBY, Sinube had already attained the rank of Jedi Master, and was appointed as the Marshal of the Jedi Outpost on Dera, a strategically vital position near the Outer Rim. This wasn't just any outpost. Dera was located near the trade routes vulnerable to the Nile, pirates who terrorized the galaxy with chaos and hyperspace anomalies. When the nearby world of Cyclor came under attack, it was Sinube who dispatched Jedi Knight Porter Engel, the legendary Blade of Bardotta, to intervene at the request of Stellan Gios. Already, Sinube was earning a reputation not for lightsaber skills, but for wisdom, diplomacy, and tactical insight. But what path led him from the frontiers of the galaxy to the center of the Jedi Order? As the galaxy transitioned from the High Republic into the twilight of the Jedi Order, Tera Sinube returned to Coruscant and took on a far more influential role. Leader of the Hawk-Bat clan, a group of Jedi younglings whose ranks included names that would one day shake the galaxy. Among them, Sifo-Dyas, the visionary Jedi who foresaw a coming war, and Dooku, the charismatic and conflicted future Sith Lord. Yes, Sinube was present when Grandmaster Yoda, Master Eula Braylon, and a group of younglings travelled to Sereno for the Galactic Festival, a visit that would deeply influence young Dooku and plant the seeds of his disillusionment with the Jedi. Sinube, alongside Master Braylon, even rushed to help Yoda after a chaotic moment with Sifo-Dyas knocked him off balance, an early glimpse into the disorder that often followed visions of the future. By 86 BBY, Sinube had taken on a Padawan of his own, Zang Arrera, and the very next year he was elevated to the Jedi High Council, the highest decision-making body of the Order. What did Sinube see in these young Jedi? And did he recognize the danger that lay within one of his most gifted students? Unlike many Jedi, who preferred the spiritual calm of the temple, Tera Sinube embraced the grit of Coruscant's lower levels. He became a Jedi investigator, a specialized role requiring deep knowledge of the criminal underworld. Using the Force like a magnifying lens, he could solve crimes faster than the Coruscant police themselves. It was here, in the neon-lit streets of the lower city, that Sinube's patience and empathy became his greatest strengths. Rather than brandishing his lightsaber, he preferred observation, subtly, and when necessary, mind tricks to diffuse conflict. This made him uniquely suited to guide a reckless young Padawan named Ahsoka Tano, whose stolen lightsaber would lead the two on a dangerous journey through the city's seediest corners. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the wisdom and legacy of forgotten Jedi like Tera Sinube, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us every week for deep dives. Now back to the story. In the Season 2 episode Lightsaber Lost of the Clone Wars, we witness Sinube's most iconic canon moment. Ahsoka Tano, having her lightsaber stolen on Coruscant, turns to Sinube in frustration. Most Jedi would have dismissed her recklessness, but not Sinube. He didn't just guide her through investigation. He taught her how to slow down, observe, and listen to the Force. Together, they tracked the thief to the Spider Arms hostel, and then to the apartment of the assassin Knack Movers. The trail led them to a showdown at a train station, where a Torellian Django jumper named Cassie Creer held civilians hostage with Ahsoka's saber. But when the train doors opened, it was Sinube who stood waiting, and with one swift move, drawing his blade from within his cane, he disarmed and knocked Creer unconscious. The lesson? Power wasn't in aggression, it was in control. This wasn't just a moment of heroism. It was a pivotal turning point in Ahsoka's growth, setting the foundation for the calm, precise warrior she'd later become. But Sinube's influence didn't stop here. Beyond his investigative brilliance, Tera Sinube devoted himself to one of the Order's most sacred responsibilities, training the next generation of Jedi. During the Clone Wars, he served as an instructor for the Temple Security Force, the group of Jedi tasked with defending the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. He could often be found in the corridors of the temple, gently guiding younglings through lessons in discipline, lightsaber technique, and above all, patience. He was one of the Masters present during the attempted bombing of the Jedi Temple. Sinube personally aided in the evacuation of Padawans and younglings, ensuring their safety while other Jedi investigated the attack. It's no coincidence that when the Jedi Order teetered under the weight of war and politics, Tera Sinube focused on nurturing the future. He saw hope in the smallest initiates, believing the Order could heal through wisdom passed on, one youngling at a time. As the Clone Wars ground on, Sinube, like many of his generation, grew older and increasingly sidelined. By the final days of the Republic, he was among the oldest active Jedi, yet he remained in service, often working in the temple or aiding Jedi security. But when Order 66 was issued, Sinube's fate fell into darkness. Canon has never explicitly shown how Tera Sinube met his end. The truth of his final moments remain hidden. Whether he fell fighting clone troopers, whether he was captured alive, or whether he tried to protect the younglings during the massacre, no record exists. Yet we know how he was ultimately found. In the Kenobi show, Obi-Wan infiltrates the dark corridors of the Fortress Inquisitorius on Nur. There, he stumbles into a horrific trophy chamber, a crypt where fallen Jedi are suspended in amber-like preservative fluid, and there, visible in one haunting shot, is the unmistakable face of Tera Sinube, his features frozen in time. A gentle Jedi turned into a silent exhibit of imperial triumph. A man who had once protected the younglings, now trapped among the Order's dead. It would be easy to dismiss Tera Sinube as a minor Jedi, overshadowed by titans like Yoda, Mace Windu, or Obi-Wan Kenobi, but his influence ripples through the galaxy in unseen ways. He shaped younglings who would become key figures in the Clone Wars and the coming darkness. He kept the Order's connection to the streets and underworld, where ordinary people lived and suffered. He taught lessons of patience and clarity to Ahsoka Tano, who would one day defy the Empire itself. Tera Sinube embodied the quiet strength of the Jedi. He was not the flashiest lightsaber duelist, nor the most famous council voice. Instead, he was the steady presence who listened, observed, and guided others toward wisdom. In a galaxy obsessed with war and power, Sinube's true weapon was his mind, and his compassion. Even in death, preserved as a trophy, he stands as a silent testament to everything the Empire tried and failed to erase. But tell me this, could the Jedi Order have survived if more masters had followed Sinube's path of quiet wisdom, rather than becoming soldiers in a galactic war? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Next week we are diving into the history of Tyvaka, the Wookiee Jedi who was the master of Plo Koon. You won't want to miss it. If you are enjoying these videos, become a member and let's uncover the galaxy's biggest secrets together. Thanks for watching.